Did you hear about Drake being called in as a witness, or they're trying to compel Drake to be taking the stand or something like that? Are you aware how that came about?
No.
Well, Drake and Triple X had a beef once upon a time where Triple X shared a disrespectful picture or meme of Drake,
Right.
said some bad things about Drake. I won't repeat. He also said at one point, if something happens to me, if I get killed or something happens to me, something to that effect, Drake did it. Even though he later recounted that statement or recanted that statement, his defense is so desperate that they're trying to bring that up again. And I think it's interesting because I think Drake might be playing along with that conspiracy. I think he might even addressed X in that new album that he has with 24 with 21 Savage, the song on that BF. Are you
Yeah.
familiar with the song?
Yeah. Yep.
I think he's kind of playing into that. How you feel about that?
I don't know, man. I don't think Drake got nothing to do with that. I
I don't
think
think he
that.
got nothing to do with it, but do you think it was right for him to like to kind of play just to give the audience some context? I got the lyric right here, right? I think this is the third verse. Drake says, damn, maybe I should do a 20. Maybe I should break that 20, do a 10. Maybe I should break that 10, do a 5. Then if it get lives, do a 5 again. If he held his tongue on that live, he'd be alive again. Damn.
Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy, bruh. And they talking about the 510 stats. You know, back
Come
then,
on, that's
510.
X, triple X, right?
Listen, back then, 510 bands was
And then
510
look,
bands was something.
wait. Then listen.
Niggas
After
selling
he
deals
after
on
he
that.
says all of that about if he held his tongue on that live, he'd be alive again. Damn. My uncle's sister knows she raised a real one, ill one. It's been 30 minutes. I don't feel nothing. Oh shit, wait a minute. Think I'm starting to feel something. Where'd you get this motherfucking pill from? More pill references. So if you look into that, that's where the conspiracy theory that Drake actually did have something to do with this comes out, but it doesn't really make sense, as others have pointed out, because if Drake paid these guys to do it, then they would just tell on Drake, right? Like, why would
Uh
they be trying to like just like
no, you gotta listen. I hear you, but
oh my gosh, here we
we
go.
don't
Go.
understand the nuances. You get me? Look at Gotti. People are saying that Big Jook, his brother gave him the 40K. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't actually from Gotti. I think guys are smart enough to understand when you got money like that, or if you're doing something like that, I can understand why somebody would try to, defer another way. They're not gonna just be like, okay, let me just give this guy some $10,000. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it couldn't happen, it could happen, but I feel like these guys are smarter than that. Even if they was to put some money on somebody's head, I don't feel like it would be, they would try to redirect they'll try to redirect the messenger, you know what I mean? From that. I don't think they would have it just give you the information straight from them and the
But
money
where,
straight from
as
them.
it is right now, do we have any proof that Drake was a part of this?
Right. I don't feel like Drake. I'm not saying I don't think he was a part of it. I'm just saying that if it was, I'm not sure. I don't think Draco cash out these guys 5,000. That's all I'm saying in
I don't think
Texas.
anybody said that. I'm just
Right.
saying that we don't
You said
really have
wouldn't
any
they tell
reason to
on
think
Drake?
that.
You say wouldn't they just tell on Drake?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say. Wouldn't they just tell them what reason do they have to leave Drake's name out of it? You get what I'm trying to say? Like his lawyer was saying that they should just investigate Drake, or why didn't the police investigate Drake when he's saying these things in his lyrics and Triple X brought him up on the live? But if that was the case, why wouldn't those guys just tell on Drake?
Yeah.
I mean, one of them is telling on the other two guys,
Yeah.
But let's see what CBS News is saying about it. It's saying jurors uh Let me get down here. Damn, this thing is right up in my obstructing my vision. Sorry, audience. Jurors see surveillance video of rapper XXX Tentacion's murder. Ugh, that's tough, man. I don't know if the audience knows this, but Triple X is actually from the same part of town I'm from. Both from Lauderhill. We both went to the same school. I used to want to be a rapper coming up, so this whole thing hit different. I've been to that place where he got murdered, and all of this stuff hits close to home. Did you feel like that when you first learned about what
Yeah,
happened to Triple
man.
X?
Because when I heard about how big he was, I think I heard about him before I heard about Kodak.
Yeah, that's
Or
wild.
was it? Yeah, I don't know.
I
Maybe it
don't
could have
know. I
been
don't know.
close. They were both there. But all I'm saying is to know that this guy was so big and nobody knew about him. And then he was on the level of Drake, not really on the money wise, but like he had a big fan base that we didn't even, you know what I'm saying? His fan base was so strong.
Absolutely, I agree. Let's share the article now.
Gotcha.
All right. Thank you, sir. Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Juries witnessed for the first time Wednesday that the gripping surveillance video that captured the murder of local rap star XXX Tentacion, who was shot and killed outside of a Broward County motorbike shop, CBS reported. Sorry, I read it like that. Prosecutors showed the silent graphic video from June 18, 2018, documenting the final minutes of Triple X's life, whose real name was Jose Dwayne Onfroy. The 20-year-old artist was gunned down during a robbery outside of River Motorsports while he sat in his i8 BMW, waiting to drive out of the business driveway. According to the testimony, Onfroy was carrying $50,000 in cash in a Louis Vuitton satchel, money he obtained from a Coconut Creek bank. He intended to use the funds to buy a motorbike from the shop, prosecutors said. Now we get into the meat and potatoes of everything. Michael Boatwright, 27, Dedrick Williams, 26, and Trayvon Newsom, 24, are each facing charges for first-degree murder and robbery with a firearm. These guys ain't even began their life yet, and they threw it all away. They're all standing trial together after Judge Michael Usan. I might have had that judge before. That's not important. Rejected a request to try them separately. If convicted, each could be sentenced to life in prison. Robert Allen, 26, pleaded guilty in August 2022 to second-degree murder. He spent most of the day on the stand telling jurors what happened in the moments before, during, and after Triple X was shot. During the opening statements, defense lawyers told the jury that they would challenge Allen's accounts, with one lawyer saying essentially that Allen had lied in order to spare himself a life sentence. Allen, wearing a tan prison jumpsuit and testifying for prosecution, had to be reminded several times by the state attorney, Pascal Achille, and defense attorneys to speak up as he recounted what happened the day Onfroy died. Damn, they had to tell him to say it with his chest. I got to watch the actual testimony because he might have been, kind of timid to be forthcoming with the information. I wonder. He told jurors that the four men agreed on June 17, 2018, to rent a vehicle in order to drive around and rob unsuspecting victims. We had masked to rob people, Allen said, adding that all four would have guns in order to carry out their alleged crime spree. Allen said the idea to rent the car came from Williams, who Achilles said was the getaway driver. Allen also said all of the men had face masks except for Williams, which is why the group ended up at the shop. Damn. While there, they just happened to run across XXX Tentacion. Dedrick said it's XXX, Allen said while he and Williams were in the store. At that point, they began plotting with each other outside and hatched a plan to rob Onfroy while lying in wait for the rapper to leave the store after all four had returned to their vehicle, Achilles said. Akil. I'm sorry about my pronunciation on his name. The video captured a Dodge SUV blocking the rapper's BMW in the driveway as two men, one of them armed with a long barrel rifle, went to the car to demand his jewelry and take his designer bag. The video also showed a front seat passenger identified as a family relative who ran from the car as the heist occurred. And we learned yesterday from the reports from his testimony when he was describing what happened. We learned that yesterday that he ran, or the day before. Right. It hurt me to know that XXX in his last moments probably felt abandoned. I know his uncle was scared, but damn, bro. You abandoned him like that? You just ran out of the car? That just makes me sad to know that, man. Moving on.
I mean, man, they busting shots.
No, they hadn't busted any shots at that point. They approached him with guns. You feel me? I understand that he ran. A lot of people would react that way.
That's probably what made him shoot, too. If you know, it's like this nigga ran and he may have a gun. I don't know, man. That thing happened so fast, bro. It's like, yeah, but I get you. It's like, damn, they just got the gun on him. You know what I mean?
It's just sad to know that he felt like that. His uncle abandoned him in his time of need. Yeah, he said, I couldn't see or hear what XXX was saying. Allen said, accusing Boatwright of firing up to 3 shots and killed the rapper. Allen said he didn't get out of the car because he'd been captured on surveillance camera inside the shop and knew it would be used to connect him to the crime. I knew there was a good chance I would get caught, he testified. I ain't want to get arrested.
Man, they had to drop on him, bro. Like, somebody knew he was going up there.
Well, we just described that, Bob. We read the article. You know, they saw him in the store. Said they didn't expect to see him, but they was there shopping for a mask. They was already in the mode of robbing people. Immediately after the shooting, the force said they learned while listening to the radio that Onfroy had died. Ford ended up crashing the rental Dodge SUV when they rear-ended a stopped vehicle just a few minutes after the killing, Allen said. They all abandoned the vehicle and ran from the scene, but reunited after Newsom returned to the scene to get the vehicle. That was dumb. During the testimony, Allen testified that each of the men received $15,000 of the stolen money, but he only received $5,000 because he stayed in the vehicle during the robbery. The money, he said, looked like it came from a bank, Allen said. So let's examine what he's saying for a minute, right? He's saying that they had plans to rob somebody else. They had masks, 2 of them, but one of them didn't have a mask. That's how they ended up at a store, right? They happened to see XXX, so they figured, let's rob him. And he says that he stayed in the car because he didn't have a mask, and he had a good chance that they would get caught. Doesn't that seem kind of convenient for him, though, to say that that wasn't the plan? Like you're saying that they had to drop on him, right? It's more damning for him to say that, look, we was following his social media. You know, we knew he was going to be there, or we heard from somewhere else that he was going to be there. Or maybe they got a tip from somebody else close to XXX. I don't know. But it just seems convenient that he would say that, look, I didn't know that this was the plan. And then they switched the plan at the last minute. And now I'm telling on them because I just need to straighten out the facts. You know, I'm not a snitch. I'm just getting the record straight. I didn't plan on doing this. They did that. I only did this. And he bucks a life sentence. I don't know if we could believe this guy. Like the defense is saying, he might just be trying to save his own ass.
Yeah, he may just be trying. You know how that go, man. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do for yourself, and that's how the game go right now. So
that's how you feel. That's how it go.
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, we see with the Tekashi and all of these things. Everybody got to do what's best for them. They ain't
I thought you were speaking from personal experience the way you said it.
No, I ain't never been in no situation where I had to bring down the camera.
Okay. I just want to clarify for the audience because you was like, that's how it goes, you know what I'm saying? And it sounded like they might have confused that you were saying like that's you feel that's how it should go.
No, no, I don't feel like we had a talk, and I told you that I don't like the fact that when we was talking that you go do a crime with somebody, and y'all don't even get the equivalent amount of time, but y'all was on the same thing, and just because you go tell, you get 10 years less. It's like, no,
That
man,
is
come
a
on
little
now.
bit unethical. Like
We
they
need
have
to
a
play
motivation.
everybody right.
He even has a motivation to lie on the other two guys to save himself,
Exactly.
even though he did the same thing. Does he deserve to get a more
A
lenient
lesser
sentence?
sentence. Hell no. Some of these guys do not deserve anything, lesser than what the guy's getting. Y'all all went with that. You know how they used to say, if you go in the car with somebody, it's just like you doing the murder. You know what I mean? You just as guilty. But
Yeah, yeah. I heard a saying that goes like, well, if you didn't chop the cow, but you held the cow leg while the butcher chopped the cow, you feel me? You just as guilty as the butcher.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So y'all all played a part in it. So yeah, I don't know. That's how the legal system works, though.
that's how it works. And
Yeah,
sometimes it could be good, like we said. Sometimes you could be somebody that's snitching in a good way, that's helping the community, you keeping everything safe. But to all you knuckleheads that's doing it, and you thinking you just doing it to to come home, I'm not respecting it. I don't feel like, nah, man. I don't want my guys feeling like they could just do nut shit and get out of jail for not being accountable for what they did. That's just don't seem right
don't seem right to me either.
to me.
Don't seem right to me either. Let me go ahead and